My wife said, "You're not man enough to handle my independence." I replied, "You're right." Then I filed for divorce and moved her mom into our guest room. Her lawyer called me laughing when he saw the paperwork. Original post. I, 38 male, have been married to Victoria, 35, for 9 years. We met through work, both accountants at different firms. She was brilliant, ambitious, driven. I fell hard. We got married after 2 years of dating, bought a house together, 80-20 split. I put down more because I'd been saving longer, had what I thought was a good life. Victoria always talked about independence, financial independence, emotional independence, the whole thing. Cool with me, I'm not controlling. She kept her own accounts, I kept mine. We had one shared account for household expenses. She made good money, about $85 to my $110K. We split bills proportionally. Seemed fair. About 6 months ago, Victoria got a promotion. Senior manager, $105K. I was genuinely happy for her. Took her out to celebrate, told everyone how proud I was. That's when things started changing. First, it was little comments. "I don't need you to pay for dinner anymore. I can handle my own car maintenance. Stop trying to control me with money." I wasn't trying to control anyone. I was literally just being married. Like offering to grab dinner on the way home or reminding her about her oil change. Then came the friends. Victoria started hanging out with this group of divorced women from her yoga class. They called themselves the Phoenix Sisters, women who'd risen from the ashes of marriage. Every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes Saturdays, they'd go to wine bars and talk about toxic masculinity and financial liberation. 3 months ago, we're at her company party. I'm chatting with her colleague about baseball when I hear Victoria talking to a group of women. Marriage is just legalized oppression. Men can't handle successful women. They need to feel superior. Someone asked about her husband, me. "Oh, he tries. But you can see it bothers him that I'm catching up financially. He keeps trying to provide for me like it's 1952. I'm standing right there, 20 feet away. She knew I could hear. Later in the car, me, "That was pretty harsh, Vic." Her, "Truth hurts?" Me, "What truth?" "I celebrated your promotion. I support your career." "You support it as long as I'm beneath you." Me, "That's not true and you know it. You're not man enough to handle my independence. Just admit it." I didn't respond, just drove home in silence. Last month was our anniversary. I'd made reservations at this nice place she'd mentioned wanting to try. When I told her, she laughed. "Still trying to control everything?" I already made plans with the Phoenix Sisters. We're doing an empowerment retreat that weekend. It's our anniversary. So, it's just a date. My personal growth is more important than some arbitrary celebration of an outdated institution. That's when I knew it was over. Last week she escalated, started moving money from our joint account to her personal one. Not huge amounts, but noticeable. When I asked about it, "I'm protecting my assets." "From what?" "From you. Men always try to control women through money. I'm not falling for it." "Victoria, I have never stopped you from spending money. Ever. You don't get it. You're not man enough to handle my independence. Real men don't feel threatened by successful women." I looked at her for a long moment. This woman I'd loved for 11 years, supported through her master's degree, celebrated every promotion with, was telling me I wasn't man enough because I existed, because I wanted to stay married? "You're right." Me, "You're right. I'm not man enough to handle your independence. I'll move to the guest room tonight." She looked shocked, but recovered quickly. Finally, some honesty. What she didn't know was that I'd already called a divorce lawyer that afternoon. And I had a plan. See, Victoria had forgotten one very important detail about our house. It's not in both our names. It's in mine. Only mine. When we bought it, she had just started her job, and her credit was shot from student loans. The mortgage is solely in my name. She's not on the deed. We'd always said we'd add her later when we refinanced, but never got around to it. And her mom, Dorothy, lovely woman, 68 years old, living on Social Security in a sketchy apartment complex. Victoria always talked about how she should help her mom more, but never did. Too busy with the Phoenix Sisters. So after Victoria went to bed that night, in our bedroom, while I took the guest room like the weak man I was, I called Dorothy. "Hey Dorothy, it's Alex. How would you like to move in with us?" "What? Is everything okay? Me, Victoria and I are getting divorced, but the house is mine and I have a spare room. You've always been good to me. Rent-free, of course. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. But are you sure? Already cleared it with my lawyer. You can move in whenever you want. Victoria is going to lose her mind. That's her choice. The next morning, I filed for divorce. Then I helped Dorothy move in that weekend while Victoria was at her empowerment retreat. Monday morning, Victoria came home to find her mother unpacking in the guest room. The explosion was spectacular. Update 1, 1 week later. The last 7 days have been absolutely insane. You wanted drama? Victoria delivered. So after she found her mom in the guest room, Victoria completely lost it. What is my mother doing here? Me, I invited her to move in. She needs a better living situation. You can't just move people into our house. Check the deed. It's my house. And you said I wasn't man enough to handle your independence, so I'm giving you all the independence you want. This is about control. You're trying to manipulate me. Dorothy, Victoria, honey, he's giving me free rent. That's not manipulation. That's kindness. Stay out of this, Mom. Don't talk to me that way. I'm still your mother. Victoria stormed upstairs, and that's when she found the divorce papers I'd left on the bed. The scream could have shattered windows. She came storming back down, papers in hand. You divorcing me? Because I'm successful? Me, I'm divorcing you because you treat me like garbage and openly disrespect our marriage. This is about money. You can't handle that. I make almost as much as you. You make $105K, I make $110, and I have about $400 in investments from before we met. This was never about money. Her face went pale. See, Victoria never knew about my investments. I started investing in my early 20s, lived cheap, built a nice portfolio. Never mentioned it because she was so weird about money and independence. Figured it was my business. You hid money from me? Me? I didn't hide anything. You never asked. You were too busy being independent. I want half. Good luck with that. Premarital assets, already confirmed with my lawyer. Then she tried a different approach. Started crying. Alex, please, we can work this out. I didn't mean those things. You meant every word. And that's okay. You wanted independence, you've got it. Where am I supposed to live? Wherever independent women live. That's not my concern anymore. You're kicking me out? Me. I'm giving you 30 days as required by law. Your lawyer can negotiate details. That's when she called the Phoenix sisters. Within an hour, 5 divorced women were at my house, trying to storm in like some kind of empowerment SWAT team. Phoenix leader? Let's call her Brenda. You can't evict a woman from her own home. It's not her home, she's not on the deed. That's financial abuse. She has her own money, she's independent, remember? Another Phoenix sister. This is why we tell women to protect themselves. Dorothy, maybe if you hadn't filled my daughter's head with toxic nonsense, her marriage wouldn't be ending. And you're supporting this patriarch? This patriarch is giving me free housing while my daughter ignored me for years. So yes. They left after I threatened to call the cops for trespassing. Victoria hired a lawyer the next day, some hotshot feminist attorney who specializes in women's advocacy. Attorney called me Wednesday. Attorney, Mr. Thompson, your behavior constitutes financial and emotional abuse. How? You're weaponizing housing to control my client. I'm giving her 30 days to find a place. That's generous. The house is marital property. The house is in my name only, purchased with my down payment, all payments from my account. She contributed to household expenses. She paid for groceries and utilities. I paid the mortgage, taxes, and insurance. I have all the receipts. We'll see you in court. Looking forward to it. Then my lawyer called me laughing. My lawyer? I just got off the phone with her attorney. And she wants alimony. What? She's claiming she's accustomed to a certain lifestyle, also wants half the house value and half your investments. She makes $105. I know. I literally laughed. Her attorney wasn't amused. Can she get any of that? The house? No, it's premarital. You never added her, and you can prove all payments came from you. The investments? Also premarital. Alimony? She makes too much and the marriage is too short. She'll get some furniture and maybe a small settlement to make this go away. What about Dorothy living here? Completely legal. It's your house, you can have whoever you want as a tenant. Meanwhile, Victoria started her social media campaign, posted about how her narcissistic husband was holding her hostage and using her elderly mother against her. The comments were hilarious, though. Her own friends were confused. Wait, he's giving your mom free housing? Why is that bad? Don't you make good money? I thought you wanted independence. She deleted the posts after an hour. But the best part happened Friday. Victoria came home with a U-Haul and the Phoenix sisters. Her, I'm taking my stuff. Me, take whatever you bought. I have receipts for everything else. I bought that couch. Receipt shows I bought it. Wanna see? She tried to take the TV. Also mine. Receipts in my filing cabinet. The bed? Me, mine. Bought it before we met. She ended up with her clothes, some kitchen stuff she bought, her personal items, and a chair. That's it. The Phoenix sisters kept trying to take more stuff. Just take it all, make him prove it in court. I'm recording this entire interaction. Please, try to steal my property on camera. They backed down. As Victoria was leaving, Dorothy came out. Victoria, honey, you can stay here if you apologize to Alex and get counseling. I don't need to apologize to anyone. He's abusing both of us. Dorothy, he's giving me free rent and treating me with more respect than you have in years. Victoria, you're choosing him over me? I'm choosing kindness over whatever you've become. Victoria left sobbing. The Phoenix sisters glared at me like I was Satan himself. Saturday morning, I get a text from Victoria's dad, Robert. They've been divorced for 15 years. Robert, heard you're divorcing Vic and taking care of Dorothy. Good for you. That woman needs help, and Vic's too selfish to provide it. Let me know if you need anything. Even her dad's on my side. This morning, Victoria tried a new approach. Showed up alone, dressed nice, makeup done. Her, can we talk? About? I may have overreacted. The Phoenix sisters have been influencing me. And, maybe we can work this out? I'll go to counseling? No, I'll quit seeing them? Don't care who you see. I love you, no you don't. You love the lifestyle I provided while you played independent woman. Her, that's not fair. You told a room full of people I wasn't man enough for you. That's what's not fair. I'll tell everyone I was wrong. Too late. She left crying again. Dorothy watched from the window. Dorothy, you know I love my daughter, but she needed this wake-up call. Think she'll learn? Probably not, but maybe. Tomorrow's the first divorce mediation. This should be fun. Update 2 weeks later. Mediation was a disaster. In the best possible way. We met at James's office. Victoria brought her attorney Rebecca, the feminist advocate, and, I kid you not, 2 Phoenix sisters for emotional support. They had to wait outside but made sure to glare at me through the glass door. Rebecca started strong. My client is entitled to half of all marital assets, including the house. James, the house is premarital property, solely in Mr. Benhaley Thompson's name. Improved with marital funds. Here are 5 years of bank statements showing all mortgage payments, insurance, taxes, and improvements came from Mr. Thompson's personal account. My client contributed to household expenses. She paid for groceries and utilities, totaling approximately $1,500 monthly. Mr. Thompson paid $3,200 monthly for mortgage and house-related expenses. If anything, she owes him rent. Victoria, rent? I'm his wife. Technically, you're his soon-to-be ex-wife who lived in his property rent-free for 5 years. Rebecca tried another angle. We want alimony. James actually snorted. Your client makes $105,000 annually. She's accustomed to a certain lifestyle. What lifestyle? According to these credit card statements, she spends most of her money on wine bars, yoga classes, and empowerment retreats. Mr. Thompson paid for all vacations, major purchases, and home expenses. Victoria, this is financial abuse. You literally told me I wasn't man enough to handle your independence. Now you want my money? My client was emotional when she said that. She was sober at her company party when she told everyone I was threatened by successful women. James pulled out his laptop. Actually, I have something interesting. Mr. Thompson's neighbor sent him Ring doorbell footage from 3 months ago. He played a video of Victoria in our driveway on the phone. Girl, I'm going to divorce him as soon as I hit senior director. Just another year or two. I'll get half his stuff and finally be free. These Phoenix sisters know what they're talking about. Men are just walking ATMs. Victoria's face went white. Rebecca, that's taken out of context. What context makes that better? I was just venting. So was I when I filed for divorce. Then came the asset division. Victoria's list of demands was insane. Half the house value, $300K. Half my investments, $200K. The car, which is also in my name, alimony, $2K a month. Her attorney fees, $15K so far. James's counteroffer, her personal belongings already taken, her car already hers, $10K settlement, no alimony, each pays own attorney. Rebecca, that's insulting. James, it's generous. We could argue she owes Mr. Thompson back rent. Victoria, I want my mother out of that house. She's my tenant now, perfectly legal. She's my mother, who you ignored for years while she lived in a dangerous neighborhood. Dorothy chose that moment to text Victoria, stop embarrassing yourself. Alex has taken me to lunch at that Italian place you never had time to take me to. Victoria screamed and threw her phone across the table. Rebecca, we need a recess. During the break, I overheard Rebecca in the hallway. Victoria, you have no case. Take the settlement. Victoria, those Phoenix sisters said I could take him for everything. The Phoenix sisters aren't lawyers, and frankly, they're idiots. When we reconvened, Victoria tried tears again. Her Alex, please, I made mistakes, but don't you remember the good times? I remember you telling me I wasn't a real man. I didn't mean it. Which time? The 1st? The 5th? The 20th? Her, you're being cruel. Me, I'm being independent. Isn't that what you wanted? Finally, Rebecca made a new offer. $25 settlement, clean divorce, done in 60 days. James looked at me. I shook my head. Me original offer stands, $10K, that's it. Victoria, I'll go to trial. Great. We'll subpoena your Phoenix sisters, play that ring footage in court, and show the judge your social media posts about marriage being legalized oppression. How do you think that'll go? Rebecca whispered urgently to Victoria. After 5 minutes, Rebecca, we'll take the $10. Papers were signed. Victoria was officially served with eviction notice, 30 days from filing, so 2 more weeks left. But Victoria wasn't done. That night, she showed up drunk with Brenda and 2 other Phoenix sisters. You ruined my life? Me. You ruined your own life. You're a typical man, threatened by female power. Honey, you're drunk. Go home. You betrayed me, Mom. You betrayed yourself and your marriage, and me for years. I was busy. I was building my career. You were drinking wine with bitter divorced women who convinced you to destroy your marriage. Phoenix sister number 2, we liberated her. You turned her into a bitter, selfish person who treats everyone like garbage. Victoria, I'm independent and single. Congratulations. She tried to charge at me but tripped on the lawn and face planted. The Phoenix sisters had to carry her to Brenda's car. The next day I got a call from Victoria's boss. Alex, it's Paul. I heard about the divorce, I'm sorry. Thanks, Paul. Listen, this is awkward, but Victoria's been having some issues at work, telling female colleagues they're slaves to the patriarchy if they're happily married. HR's involved. That tracks. Between you and me, she might want to focus on finding a new job rather than fighting you in court. Thanks for the heads up. That afternoon, Dorothy and I were having coffee when she said something that hit hard. You know, I always hoped Victoria would find a good man like you. Someone stable, kind, supportive. But somewhere along the line, she decided that being loved was the same as being controlled. When did she change? When she met those Phoenix women. They're all bitter about their own divorces and want everyone else to be miserable too. Misery loves company. Why didn't she help you more, financially? She said helping me would make me dependent and that I needed to be empowered. Meanwhile, she spent $500 a month on yoga and wine. That's cold. That's Victoria now. But thank you for this. I haven't felt safe in years. Your family, divorce doesn't change that. She teared up and hugged me. This morning, Victoria sent one last desperate text. If you let me come back, I'll sign a post-nup giving up claims to everything. Please, I have nowhere to go. Meet Brenda has a spare room. Very empowering, I'm sure. She wants $1,500 a month. Sounds like a personal problem. You're enjoying this. I'm enjoying my independence. She stopped responding after that. Final update, 1 month later. The divorce was finalized last week. Victoria fought until literally the last second, but ultimately had no leverage. Here's how it all shook out. She ended up taking the $10,000 settlement, but only after one more disaster mediation, where she brought her entire Phoenix sister crew, all 6 of them, and tried to stage what I can only describe as an empowerment intervention. They burst into the conference room with printed articles about financial abuse in marriage and the patriarchal divorce system. Security had to escort them out. Rebecca, her lawyer, actually quit on the spot. Rebecca, I'm a feminist attorney, not a circus performer. Find someone else. Victoria had to get a new lawyer, some guy who took her case for a $5,000 retainer, half her settlement, lol. He basically told her to take the deal or lose everything. But the real entertainment came from the house situation. Victoria's 30 days were up, and she refused to leave. Showed up with a moving truck and the Phoenix sisters, claiming she was taking her half of everything. I was ready. Had a sheriff's deputy there, James arranged it, and a complete inventory of every item with receipts. Victoria pointed at the living room furniture. That's mine. Me, shows receipt on my phone. Purchased by Alex Thompson, paid with my credit card. The kitchen appliances, shows more receipts. The bedroom set, we bought before we met. Here's the 2012 receipt. She literally tried to take the doormat. Me $12.99, Target, my debit card. The Phoenix sisters were getting increasingly angry. Brenda, this is systematic oppression. Deputy ma'am, it's systematic documentation. He owns everything. Phoenix sister 3, we should call the news. Dorothy in the porch. Please do. I'd love to tell them how my daughter abandoned me while spending thousands on wine and yoga. They ended up leaving with nothing new, just the clothes and personal items Victoria already had. But here's where it gets really good. Remember Paul calling about Victoria's job issues? Yeah, she got fired. Apparently after our divorce mediation disaster, she went to work and gave an unsolicited presentation during a staff meeting about detecting financial abuse in marriage, and pointed out several happily married colleagues as victims in denial. HR gave her a warning. She responded by sending a company-wide email about toxic masculine corporate culture. They fired her that afternoon. So now Victoria had no job, no house, $5,000 left from settlement after paying her lawyer, rapidly dwindling savings. She tried moving in with Brenda. Lasted exactly 1 week. Brenda kicked her out because Victoria couldn't pay rent and refused to do housework. That's domestic servitude. Tried Phoenix sister 2, 3 days. Got booted for lecturing her teenage daughter about internalized misogyny when the kid said she wanted to get married someday. Phoenix sister 3, 1 day. Left after a fight about Victoria eating her food without asking. Resources should be communal among sisters. Finally, humiliated and broke, she did what she swore she'd never do. Asked Dorothy to talk to me about letting her move back. Dorothy came to me last Sunday. Dorothy, she's desperate, Alex. And nothing. I told her she made her bed, but I wanted you to know she asked. What's she doing now? Dorothy, living with some cousin 2 hours away. Working at a call center. Posting inspirational quotes about rising from ashes on Facebook. The phoenix rises again? More like a damp pigeon at this point. We both laughed. But the best part? The Phoenix sisters have completely abandoned her. Once she couldn't afford wine bar tabs and yoga classes, she was useless to them. Brenda actually posted, Dorothy showed me. Sometimes you have to cut toxic people out of your life, even sisters who can't match your energy. Victoria commented, I thought we were family. Brenda blocked her. Meanwhile, Dorothy's thriving. We converted the garage into a nice studio space for her hobby, quilting. She's joined a seniors social group, made friends, and even started dating some guy named Harold from her book club. It's adorable. Last week, Victoria sent me one final email. Alex, I know you hate me. I deserve it. I destroyed our marriage for nothing. The Phoenix sisters were toxic. I was toxic. I see that now. I'm in therapy, court-mandated from an incident where I might have thrown a drink at Brenda, but whatever. My therapist says I have a lot of work to do on myself. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect anything. I just wanted you to know that you were right. You were man enough, more than man enough. You were a good husband, and I was an idiot. Take care of my mom. You're doing what I should have done. Victoria P.S. That Ring doorbell footage was from when I was drunk. But drunk words are sober thoughts, right? I was planning to use you. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. What's the point? James called yesterday with something interesting. James, so I ran into Rebecca at court. Me, Victoria's ex-lawyer? Yeah. She said this was the worst case she'd ever taken. Apparently, she's using it as a cautionary tale for other clients about what not to do in divorce. That's amazing. She also said, off the record, that your moving Dorothy in was the most brilliant tactical divorce move she'd seen in 20 years of practice. It wasn't tactical. I just wanted to help Dorothy. That's what makes it brilliant. You did the right thing for the right reasons, and it completely destroyed Victoria's narrative. So that's it. I'm officially divorced. Victoria's living her independent woman dream in a cousin's spare room, working a job she hates, abandoned by her toxic friend group. Dorothy's living her best life in my guest room, going to bingo with Harold and teaching me how to quilt. I'm terrible at it, but it's relaxing. The house is peaceful. I'm dating again, nothing serious yet, but I met a nice woman named Amanda at Home Depot of all places. She laughed when I told her my ex said I wasn't man enough for her. Amanda, sounds like she wasn't woman enough for you. Maybe something will happen there, maybe not. But for now I'm good, really good. To everyone who said I went too far with moving Dorothy in, nah. It was the perfect response to Victoria's independence. She wanted to be free from the oppression of marriage? Cool. Now she's free, and her mom, who she ignored for years while preaching about empowerment, is being taken care of by the very man Victoria said wasn't enough. Dorothy said it best yesterday. You know what the irony is? Victoria spent so much time trying to be independent that she forgot how to be a decent human being. And now she's dependent on everyone else's charity while you and I are living interdependently, helping each other like family should. Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, and one final thing. Last night, Dorothy told me Victoria's been trying to join a new group called the Rising Phoenixes, for women who've been betrayed by the Phoenix Sisters. I can't make this stuff up. Take care, Reddit. Thanks for following this bizarre journey. Edit. Since everyone's asking, yes, Dorothy officially pays me $1 rent per month. Makes it a legal tenancy. She insists on giving me a dollar bill in an envelope on the first of each month. Very formally. It's become our little ritual. Last month she gave me 100 pennies instead, to be difficult. I love this woman. Edit 2. For those saying this is fake because no woman would act like Victoria, my brother's ex was worse. Some people really do drink the Qley that hard. The Phoenix Sisters are basically a toxic echo chamber that convinces members their marriages are oppressive. It's cult-like. Victoria was vulnerable to it because she was always insecure about money's success. They exploited that. Not excusing her behavior, just explaining how someone can go so far off the rails.